Dear students, last class I was discussing the rules to ask questions starting with what. So only partially I have done the work. Today I am continuing again using using what interrogative pronoun. I will the rules I will predict for ask questions. So I am Dr. Gunasekaran taking class. Vetri welcomes you all. Now, now the most important information just I want to give normally. So whenever we are raising questions, so we may raise question in present tense or past tense or in future tense we can. Let us assume if it is a present tense. So your answer should be any one of the four the simple present or simple present continuous or simple present perfect or simple present perfect continuous. This should be the answer. So I already informed you the subject, it may be noun or personal pronoun, plus the verb, main verb, plus subject is not possible generally. Forming of sentence is not possible. Not only for what, but also all WH is not possible. Number two, the WH question, the word plus subject plus verb. Again, it is also very rare, not possible. So what is easily possible is, so we have to use WH question, in this case what, then auxiliary verb we have to use to raise questions. Auxiliary verb we have to use. So last class what we have seen, auxiliary verb is, or present tense, past where, then do, does, present tense did, past tense, has, have, present tense, have, that is had, past tense. We have discussed. And also, now kindly follow. So now what we are going to do now in this case, so auxiliary verb is the most important verb we have to use. Either in the form of simple sentence, or simple present continuous, or simple present perfect, or simple present perfect continuous, we can raise questions. So we have to use. So in this case, the type 7, I am going to use do as the verb, as an auxiliary verb I can use. So it may helping verb or auxiliary verb, and also main verb will be there. The first sentence, kindly follow me. I am asking a question. What do you want to achieve in your life? What do you want? What do you want? What is the main verb? The want is the main verb. Do the auxiliary verb. Please follow. So what do you want to achieve in your life? The meaning is, உன் வாழ்க்கையில் நீ என்ன சாதிக்க விரும்புகின்றாய்? What do you want? That is the meaning for that. So I cannot give in all the sentences Tamil meaning. So better you understand. Now it is very, very simple, easy. The words I am using, simple words I am using, so you understand. Next one. What do you enjoy doing in your free time? Sorry. What do you enjoy doing in your free time? That means do auxiliary verb, enjoy. That is enjoy. That is means that is doing. You enjoy doing in your free time. What do you enjoy doing in your free time? Doing is the main verb. What do, auxiliary verb, think. So what do you think about this idea? The next one. What do you need to get started on this project? Need, main verb, do, auxiliary. The next one. What do you find most challenging in your work? What do you find? You find is the main verb, do auxiliary verb. The next one. What do you like most about your job? Like, main verb, do auxiliary verb. So in all the cases, that is continuation of what do verbs, do is acting as an auxiliary verb, helping verb. There is another main verb. Please follow. Now, continuation of do again. Because in all cases, I am giving example, 10 example I am giving. What do you think about the next? So, think is the main verb, do is the auxiliary. The next one, 8th. What do you plan to do this weekend? Plan, main verb, do, auxiliary. What do you feel? Feel, main verb, do, auxiliary. About your strength. Feel என்றால் உணர்வது. What do you want to learn next? Want, verb, main verb, do, auxiliary. What do you want to eat next? Want, again, main verb, do, auxiliary. What do you like to eat? சாப்பிடுவதற்கு உனக்கு என்ன விரும்புகிறாய்? நீ என்ன விரும்புகிறாய்? சாப்பிடுவதற்கு நீ என்ன விரும்புகிறாய்? Do you like? What do you like? Like, main verb, do, auxiliary. I hope this is the interesting information regarding do. Next, I will go for the verb does. Dear students, you must know here, do normally used for, in the case of pronoun, the noun plural will use. In the case of pronoun, personal pronoun, I, you, they, we will use do. In the third person singular or noun singular, we will use does. You should be very careful. Please follow now first question. What does DNA stand for in biology? What does DNA stand? Main verb. Does, auxiliary verb. So DNA is a noun singular. So verb is does we are using. What does DNA stand for? Biology. What does the meaning of photosynthesis? What does the meaning of photosynthesis? Meaning, continuous. What does a magnet attract? What does a magnet attract? Attract, the main verb, does, auxiliary. What does the meaning of democracy? Meaning, continuous verb, where main verb, does, auxiliary. What does an author do? Here, does, auxiliary, do, main verb. What does the water cycle include? Include, main verb, does, auxiliary. Okay. The next one, continuation of does. Kindly follow. What does a historian study? What does a historian study? An historian, a singular noun. So does we are using. So study is the main verb. Does is the auxiliary. Same, what does a politician do? Do, main verb, does, auxiliary. What does the equation PV equal to nRT represent? Represent is the main verb, does is the auxiliary. PV equal to nRT is the gas law. Kindly follow. What does the equation E equal to mc squared represent? Represent the main verb, does auxiliary verb. What does the term ecosystem refer? What does the ecosystem refer? Main verb, does auxiliary. What does the equation U minus U equal to Q minus W represent? This equation comes in thermodynamics. Represent main verb, does auxiliary. Please follow. Next, I will use now the past tense did, do, does. We are using the past tense had. So now I am using with what? What did you learn in our chemistry class? உன்னுடைய கெமிஸ்ட்ரி ரசாயன வகுப்பில் நீ என்ன கற்றுக்கொண்டாய்? என்ன கற்றுக்கொண்டாய்? Past tense. What did you learn in our chemistry class? Did auxiliary verb. Learn is the main verb. Please follow. When you are using auxiliary verb past and present tense, you have to use. We should not use past tense. Very, very important point. The same way, what did you have for lunch today? Have, main verb, did, auxiliary. What did you do during your vacation? Did, auxiliary, do, main verb. What did you talk with your friend? Talk, main verb, did, auxiliary. What did you think of the new math teacher? Think, main verb, did, auxiliary verb. So, continuation of did, some more 5 sentences. What did you think of the new English book? What did, think, main verb, did, auxiliary. What did the teacher give syllabus for exam? Give, main verb, did, auxiliary. What did you do to prepare for exam? Do, main verb, did, auxiliary. What did you observe? Observe, it is the main verb, did, auxiliary verb. What did you enjoy about your art? Enjoy, main verb, did, auxiliary. So, we have seen how to raise question using what in the case of do, does, and did. The next I will go for the next type of auxiliary verb, has, have, and had. First, I'll go for the present tense, has. What has he do to become a good teacher, a good doctor? ஒரு நல்ல மருத்துவராக ஆவதற்கு அவன் என்ன செய்ய வேண்டும்? What has he to do? அவன் என்ன செய்ய வேண்டும்? What has he do? That means do, main verb, has, auxiliary. What has he do to become a good player? What has he do to become a good singer? What has she do to become a good doctor? What has she do to become a good cook? In all the cases, we are using do as the main verb, whereas has as the auxiliary verb. Always doctor, player, singer, doctor, cook, everything, it is noun. This you can understand easily. So please follow. So this is the way so always auxiliary verb followed by main verb should come. So auxiliary verb, when it is coming now, automatically another, the main verb will come. So depending upon this, because listen me, what has he? Already has comes. That's why we are not using he does, we should not write. What does he do? Again, you should not repeat does. Please follow, already has come. That this is the point you must know. The next question, next one, 5 example. What has she do to become a good teacher? What has she do to become a good mother? What has she do to become a good singer? What has she broken during cooking? Broken is a verb that is present participle. Kindly follow. Has broken. Broken is the participle. Has is the auxiliary verb. What has happened to him in the accident? நடந்த விபத்தில் அவனுக்கு என்ன ஏற்பட்டது? என்ன நடந்தது? Happened main verb, participle or past tense, has auxiliary verb. Now I'll go for have. By using have, let me raise questions what I can use. So whenever have, I told you already, so only for plural you have to use. In the case of noun, plural we have to use. And in the case of the personal pronoun, we have to for I, we, and they. We have to use have. The singular, the third person singular, he, she, it, we should not use have, we have to use has. That you should be very careful. Kindly follow. What have you do? So you, so automatically have. What have you do to become a good doctor? ஒரு நல்ல மருத்துவராக மாறுவதற்கு நீ என்ன செய்ய வேண்டும்? What you have to do? What I have to do to become a good player? ஒரு நல்ல விளையாட்டு வீரனாக மாறுவதற்கு நான் என்ன செய்ய வேண்டும்? What I have to do to become a good singer? ஒரு நல்ல பாடகனாக மாறுவதற்கு நான் என்ன செய்ய வேண்டும்? What have they do to become good players? நல்ல விளையாட்டு வீரர்களாக மாறுவதற்கு அவர்கள் என்ன செய்ய வேண்டும்? What have they do to become good students? நல்ல மாணவர்களாக மாறுவதற்கு அவர்கள் என்ன செய்ய வேண்டும்? They have to work hard. They have to study hard. So kindly follow. Whenever they do comes, please follow. You do, I do, they do, they do. Kindly follow. Because in front already have it comes. So the next 5 more sentence for have. What have broken by the students in the laboratory? Have broken by the students. Subject is by the students. Kindly follow. In the laboratory, மாணவர்களால் என்ன உடைக்கப்பட்டது? Have auxiliary verb, broken past participle main verb. What have I do to pass IAS exam? Do main verb, have auxiliary. What have I do to attract students? நான் என்ன செய்ய வேண்டும்? மாணவர்களை அட்ராக்ட் செய்வதற்கு நான் என்ன செய்ய வேண்டும்? What have they done to go to Singapore? சிங்கப்பூர் செல்வதற்கு அவர்கள் என்ன செய்தார்கள்? What they have done to learn grammar? கிராமர் கற்றுக்கொள்வதற்கு அவர்கள் என்ன செய்தார்கள்? ஆக kindly follow. I, you, we, they, we are using have. So what I have to do to pass IAS exam? My dear students, let me give a simple example. Anyhow, this I am going to discuss during the conversation after completing the entire questions, the WH questions, then yes or no questions and the tag questions. Then I will discuss the conversation. There I will explain question as well as reply to you can understand. Here I can guide you for the single one questions. Finally follow. What have I do to pass IAS exam? In the தமிழாக்கம் IAS exam, Indian Administrative Service exam பாஸ் ஆவதற்கு நான் என்ன செய்ய வேண்டும்? Question I am asking myself. நான் என்ன செய்ய வேண்டும்? So another person in front of me. So he is giving a reply. What I have to, so he is now giving answer. So you have to do hard work. You have to do hard work to pass IAS exam. See, I becomes you, have I am using again. So I am giving the sentence. Please follow. Now, what have I have to attract students? So all these things I have discussed already. The next questions, I will take now the past one, had. Kindly follow. What had happened you last night? கடந்த இரவு உனக்கு என்ன நேர்ந்தது? Past tense. What had happened? Past, kindly follow. This is the simple past perfect. What had happened to you last night? So happened main verb, had auxiliary. What had happened to her in the school? Happened main verb, had auxiliary. What had happened to him yesterday? Happened main verb, auxiliary, had. What had happened to your mother yesterday? Had auxiliary, happened. What had happened to them in the factory? Had auxiliary, happened, the corresponding main verb. Please follow. So now I can little change now. Kindly follow now. Now, what had you broken in the laboratory? What had you broken in the laboratory? ലാബറട്ടറിയിൽ നീ എണ്ണ ഉടൈത്തായ്. What had you have broken? നീ എണ്ണ ഉടൈത്തായ്. Kindly follow. Right? So broken, past participle, the main verb, had auxiliary. What had your mother broken? Main verb, had auxiliary, in the kitchen yesterday. What had happened to your father yesterday? Happened, main verb, had auxiliary. What had happened? Main verb, had auxiliary, to your car yesterday. Because you met an accident yesterday, so we are raising the question. What had happened to your car yesterday? Now, what had you done last day? நீ லாஸ்ட் டே, கடந்த நாளில் என்ன செய்தா? What had you done? Past participle, had. It is auxiliary verb. Please follow. So next, I will go for the next most important is will or shall. I will use as a verb, auxiliary verb. So now I will here take will as the auxiliary verb I will use. You kindly follow me. I can use will or shall I can use. So what will you do during your vacation? So will auxiliary, do main verb. What will you do during your vacation? உன்னுடைய the vacation என்றால் விடுமுறை நாட்களில் நீ என்ன செய்வாய்? என்ன செய்து கொண்டு இருப்பாய்? Future, என்ன செய்து கொண்டு இருப்பாய்? What will happen by mixing acid and base? When you mix acid and base, what will happen? Will auxiliary, happen main verb. What will happen? What will be the main theme of your project? Kindly follow. This is a very different type of verb I am using. Be I am using. Be is equivalent to, it may be am, it may be yes, is, it may be are. So for that we are using be. Kindly follow. So what will be the main theme of your project? The next one. What will you bring to the school for lunch? Bring, main verb, will auxiliary. What will you play in high school as game? நீ என்ன விளையாட்டை விளையாடுவாய்? Play, game, that is main verb, will auxiliary. The next 5 more. What will be the weather tomorrow? Will be, again verb directly. Be verb, will is the auxiliary, be is the main verb. What will you do after missing the bus? See, actually you have to go to a place by catching bus, but before coming the bus has left. So question is, what you will do after missing the bus? I will catch a auto. That is the meaning of that. What will you choose as your course in the college? After joining college, I am asking a question. What you will choose as your course? என்ன கோர்ஸை நீ செலக்ட் செய்வாய்? will auxiliary choose. select choose என்றால் select என்று ஒரு அர்த்தம் வரும், மீனிங் வருகிறது. நான் கெமிஸ்ட்ரி எடுப்பியா, ஃபிசிக்ஸ் எடுப்பியா, மேத்ஸ் எடுப்பியா, இல்லை இங்கிலீஷ் எடுப்பியா? வாட் வில் யூ சூஸ் as your course in the college? Okay. What will you do after finishing your study? படித்த பிறகு நீ என்ன செய்வாய்? வேலைக்கு போவேன். I will join job. Okay. Do main verb, will auxiliary. What will you plan to select the course in the college? Plan main verb, will auxiliary verb. Kindly follow. This is present tense. Now the kindly follow would. Next is the would. One interesting information I want to give, my dear students, you must have. Because in most of the lower classes, many teachers, they are confusing you. Will present tense, would past tense. No, it is not correct. Both words are indicating only future tense. Both words are indicating only will also future, would also future. Among these, how can we differentiate? Will means future is long. Would means future is less. Near, very near. So for example, within 1 hour it will take place. Then you can use would. After 1 year it will take place, you can use will. Understand? That's why we are saying it is a past. Comparing the future, past future, and this one. So this is the very, very important. When you say the future, this is past future, meaning that way, within 1 hour, a few minutes, use would. If it is after 1 month, after 1 year, after many years, use will. Please understand. So don't say it is the past tense of will. Would is not a past tense of will. The same way, shall, should, the can, could. You must do very, very careful. Say, okay, let me start now. What would be your dream during vacation? As usual, would auxiliary, be main verb. What would you choose to eat for lunch? Choose main verb, would auxiliary. What would you do after getting $1 million? $1 million. உனக்கு கிடைச்ச என்ன செய்வ? What do you do? What would you do? நீ என்ன செய்வாய்? What would you say about your greatest strength? உன்னுடைய ஸ்ட்ரென்த்தை பற்றி நீ என்ன சொல்லுவாய்? What would you say? Say, that is the main verb, would. It is the auxiliary. Then, what would you react by changing the school? School change பண்ணா என்ன reaction பண்ணுவ? React, main verb, would, auxiliary. 5 more regarding would. What would you select as country to visit? நீ வெளிநாட்டுக்கு போகணும் ஆசைப்படுற, எந்த கண்ட்ரிக்கு போகணும் ஆசைப்படுற? What would you select as a country to visit? So I would select to visit London. I would select to visit Paris. Like that you have to think of, right? What would you feel after losing your car? What you will feel after losing your car? உன் கார் தொலைஞ்சு போச்சு, அப்போ என்ன செய்வாய்? What you will feel? என்ன ஃபீல் பண்ணுவ? I will feel very, very sorry. Okay? Right. Kindly follow. I would feel very sorry. Kindly follow. What would be the weather tomorrow? Would auxiliary, be verb. Feel as usual, main verb. What would you select as main subject in college? Select main verb, would auxiliary. What food would you bring for the lunch? Bring main verb, would auxiliary. So what we have seen now? So will and would we have seen. Next, I'll go for can. Kindly follow. What can you find in the periodic table? In the periodic table, what can you find? You know already, in the periodic table, there are elements present in the periodic table. Up to today, we have 118 elements are known up to today. 118 elements are known today. So IEP is the name for, you can give that un actium, we can give that. Okay. So what can you find in the periodic table? Find main verb, can auxiliary. The same way, what can you do to grow healthy and fit? Do main verb, can auxiliary. What can animals do but not plants? What can animals do but not plants? Animals can breathe oxygen, whereas plant can breathe carbon dioxide. Kindly follow. Next one. What can we do during the rain? மழை பெய்யும் போது நாம் என்ன செய்யக்கூடும்? Do, that is your main verb, can auxiliary. What can you learn by reading history book? Learn main verb, can auxiliary. So another 5 more with can, please follow a different form. What can be created using renewable energy sources? Kindly follow. Can be created. Can be created. Can auxiliary verb. Be created, it is the main verb. What can be the consequence of deforestation? Here can be as itself is a verb. Just like will be. Can be. Listen me. You know already the most important point. There are 5 types of auxiliary verbs. One is be verbs, another is do verbs, another is has verbs, another is will, shall verbs. The correspondingly would, should, could, might. Among these, the first 3 auxiliary verbs, they will act as main verbs. But other 2 will not act as a main verb. Additionally, they have to one. They will always act as a helping verb. They will be assisted by a main verb. So can is like that. So cannot come. That's why we are using be. Be here stands for is, am, is, or. So what can be the effect of global warming? What can be done to reduce pollution? What can you learn from thunder? Learn. Here can be done. Kindly follow. Can, again as usual, auxiliary. Now for can, I am using could. Again, can, good, you cannot use present and past. The future you cannot. Present tense and past tense you cannot use that one. Here in this can, good, you can. Present tense and past tense. But will, shall, you should not use that one. Kindly follow. So what could you learn? What could you learn by studying Indian history? What could you learn by studying Indian history? Learn main verb, could auxiliary. What could happen by forgetting your homework? Happen main verb, good auxiliary. What could be the impact of pollution on the environment? Could be. It is the main verb itself. Impact of pollution on the environment. What could you help the poor people? Help main verb, good auxiliary. Then, what could you do to grow plant well? Do main verb, good auxiliary verb. Another 5. Now we'll use now could. What could you do to improve your study? Do main, good auxiliary. What could be is as such is a verb. The benefits of yoga. Be is the main verb, good auxiliary. What could you do to improve a community? Do main verb, could auxiliary. What could be the benefits of a balanced diet? Could be verb. What could you do to improve your study? Do main verb, could auxiliary verb. So I am completing good. Now I will go for the kindly follow. The interesting information is the rules I am now giving. Before completing that, so what I am giving the rules here, kindly follow. Rule 1. What plus main verb plus subject is rarely possible. That means rare means not at all possible. But anyhow, this sentence is correct one. What went wrong in our IAS interview? It is a correct. But always we will not use a main verb. For example, what want, I cannot use. What walk, I cannot use. What eat, I cannot use. So, directly I cannot use what and main verb. Plus subject I cannot use. This is an exceptional case, rarely. The second thing is, what plus subject plus main verb is grammatically not possible. For example, suppose if I want, what do you want to eat? I can tell, but it is not grammatically correct. Actually, what I have to use? What do you want? What do you want? I have to write. So, this is not possible. So, the only possible is 3 and 4. What is 3? We have seen already all example. What? Auxiliary verb. It may be a main verb or plus subject. This is very common. This is the third time. Very common. What is your name? What is your age? What is your date of birth? It's a very common. Main, acting as a main verb. Auxiliary verb, I told you 3 types. Be verb, do verbs, has verbs. They will act as a correspondingly the main verb. For example, be verbs, am. So I can say I am a boy. So he is a boy. She is a girl. Like that. So do. I do my work. I can use. Suppose he does his work. She does his work. Depending on third person, it will become verbal changes. Same way has, third person singular only, has will come. Otherwise, I have, you have, we have, they have. Third person singular, he, she, it will come has. Then for all these things, had will be the past tense. So kindly follow, this is the most important. So, auxiliary verb will come as a main verb. The fourth case, the most important is, what plus auxiliary verb as a helping verb plus main verb plus subject is very, very common. We have seen so many examples. This is what is happening in the class. Present continuous. What is happening in the class? What had happened? Kindly follow. Had happened. Past perfect. What was happening? Past continuous. What will happen? Future. Please follow. What will happen in future due to global warming? What can I do for you? What can I do for you? So in all the cases, kindly follow auxiliary verb plus the correspondingly main verb plus subject will come. Please follow. This is the most important. Note, primary auxiliary verbs act as main verbs. Primary auxiliary verbs, but modal verbs will not act. Modal means secondary auxiliary. That means will, shall, can, may. This is fourth type. The correspondingly will, would, shall, should, can, could, may, might. So these verbs, another is must. So these verbs called modal verbs, that is secondary auxiliary, will not act as the main verb. So for example, I must, there is no meaning. I must work hard. Only work, the verb will be added to must. I hope you have a very clear idea with what I have discussed. So this is the first class I am using under the WH questions what I have used. Totally there are 9 WH questions. So one I have completed. What-1, what-2 I have completed. So remaining 8 WH questions we have. So I am, to save the time, I am dividing into 2 parts. Part 1, part 2. Okay? See you again in the next class. Thanks for you, Dr.R.G. Bye-bye.